Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. It's episode 346. Here's my co-host, Eric, the Whiskey Mutant. What? What?
What if I just froze?
You were just silent for the rest of the episode?
What if I acted like I did when I first started? And I was like, I don't know what to say or do.
I don't know how I would react to that because I count on you for so much of like the banter for this.
I know,
now.
right? I'm just saying, what if one episode I act like the first time I was ever on the podcast?
It would be rough.
It would be bad.
It'd be really rough.
People would probably not listen.
Well, I'm glad you're listening, though.
I am too. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Are you going to play on what you did?
Yeah. Well, my name is Perry.
Dude, Perry has been cooking up in the studio.
I was telling Eric
And I ain't talking about Breaking Bad.
before we started recording how much I've just been wanting to like cook food. And he
But you
goes,
didn't.
"Oh, so you want to lay down some bars?"
Yeah.
I was like,
I was waiting.
no, no,
Tater.
we're not doing it. Can't you see?
Sometimes your purchases just are crazy.
Sometimes
Folding
I want to
chair
buy
in front of the store. It's 4 a.m. Hit the floor.
So, did you see? I don't know if you're in the What Does Heaven Hill Have Today group on Facebook.
No.
But somebody posted.
That's a group.
Yeah, they have one for Buffalo Trace, too.
What are they? They're going to have the same thing.
No, they don't.
Elijah Craig barrel proof sometimes. Larceny barrel proof
Okay, but you
sometimes.
just proved my point there by saying sometimes.
Just go.
Sometimes
You're
they
gonna drive
have-
all the way to Heaven Hill.
Sometimes they have like the Old Fitz very, very special or whatever. Sometimes they have the Elijah Craig grenades. Sometimes they
Are
have
those things
the-
still going to be there by the time somebody posts that?
Sometimes they genuinely are. Like if there's
An
not a
Old
line.
Fitz
Yeah.
is going to still be there?
Yeah.
By the No, I'm
I've
just
still
saying-
got Elmo range, man.
I'm saying a big bottle that people wait in line at 4 a.m. By the time they get in there and say it's there and they post it, it's still going to be there.
Sometimes, yeah.
Really?
But what I was gonna say though is that somebody posted a picture, and if you're watching the video version, I'll throw it up as well. Somebody posted a picture on the What Does Heaven Hill Have Today group of a sign that Heaven Hill put out in front of the distillery gift shop that said like, "We will not be putting out any allocated releases the weekend of August 30th."
It's good on them.
So that nobody would line up on Labor Day weekend. And
Somebody will still be there.
Oh, there's no doubt that some moron will still line up with their camping chair or whatever.
They whip it out. I don't believe them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They're like, you know what? Maybe it'll show my loyalty, and then
And they're still going to bring out the Elijah Craig 18
They'll
year.
come out and bring me something.
Why do I sound like the one guy from The Simpsons?
Which one?
I don't know, the nerd guy. Whatever.
You know
Doesn't
how
matter.
you can show your loyalty.
That's a really good segue.
Yeah, tell them.
You can head to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast and support the show for as little as $1 a month. But for as little as $5 a month, there is bonus content that you can get every single week, starting on Mondays with a bonus episode. And on Tuesdays, there's the pregame chats and the uncut version of the podcast that comes out before the edited version on Wednesdays.
Great discussion about Toy Story this week.
It was
some of our bonus content.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I
So
will
if you love Toy Story, go to Patreon.
And on the pregame chats, we discussed
New cocktails.
the Wild Rush.
And
which,
there's an actual variant version of this that I'm not going to even tell you about because you have to listen to find out.
Really, really excited about the possibilities of it. I'll say that much. But yeah, thank you to everybody who supports the show over there. We couldn't do the show without you. I don't know if I don't say that enough. Patreon's
Really
how we keep
couldn't.
the lights on.
It's true.
Genuinely. Keeps us rolling. Keeps us going.
Yeah.
That's how we do the show.
Rolling, like Limp Bizkit. Fred Durst. He said it first. Keep rolling.
He did.
He said move in and move out and hands up and hands down. Go to My Bourbon Podcast.
He was ahead of his time.
He said that back in the 90s.
A genuine...
That was on Significant Other. No, actually, that was on Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Look it up.
We normally kick off episodes with Flying Blind or Sips and Snacks, which is what we're doing today. So all the misophoniacs out there, sorry for you.
What'd you say?
Misophoniacs?
What's that?
Misophonia is the issue you have when you don't like listening to people eat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Screw them.
Sorry. Just skip ahead.
The Whiskey Mutant is all about eating snacks. So we got chaos.
We're pairing something here.
We got
today.
chaos sips and snacks today.
Ooh.
Don't know if it's even going to work.
That's my favorite.
So I got a bottle finally from our good buddy. He's from Wisconsin. And
I'm guessing it's Bill, but
it's Bill.
Okay.
It's Bill.
I didn't know if there was, you know.
No, I was trying to build it up.
all right.
Bill, sorry, the build up for Bill.
Build up.
Yeah. But anyway, what does Bill do?
He drinks beer.
What else does he do?
He hangs out.
What else does he do? In his car.
He cooks.
What else does he do in his car? Come on!
He eats fast food.
Yes.
Awesome.
What's one of his favorite things to review? Burgers. I think.
Chicken burgers.
Burgers. Anyway.
As I say in Australia.
There was we had a challenge within our Discord and Patreon and stuff like that to where it was like a weight loss fitness challenge before the meetup.
That's
true.
true.
I was awarded some bottles.
You were the wiener.
The wiener. So I finally got this thanks to my arch rival who was supposed to be the delivery boy and never gave it to me till now. This was the bottle I got from
Wallersheim.
Bill. How you say that?
Wallersheim?
Waller? Like Morgan?
Wallersheim.
Wallersheim. Wisconsin Straight Bourbon Whiskey. 5 years old, 121.2 proof.
Oh.
This was hand selected by Otto's Wine and Spirits.
So we're pairing this with a burger?
Kind of. I don't have a burger. You have a cold one.
I got a liquid death.
Oh, and thanks to Tony. My other bottle was from Tony. It was a Woodinville Oloroso.
Oh.
It's over there somewhere. Sorry, Tony. I'm not pairing that today. So we're going to see
Soon.
We're going to see if Wisconsin Bill's Wisconsin Bourbon pairs with Cheeseburger Doritos.
Oh, yes.
Doritos late night sizzling cheeseburger flavor.
I haven't tried these yet.
So
I don't know. I've been waiting for someone
so we're
special.
going to kind of do like a. This is kind of like what I do on 69 Seconds with Whiskey Mutant.
All right.
Try a snack we've never had.
We're gonna do a. Hey, you know what you can do?
What?
You can clip this, and you can actually use it.
Oh, you want to be in 69? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Get
Here.
the timer.
Here, I can do it on my.
Do you want me to clip it from this?
Yeah.
You got to use the real timer that doesn't work or it's not running. Welcome back to 69 with Whiskey Mutant, where I take 69 seconds to review a snack I've never had, then I pair it with a whiskey. I've got a partner today to 69 with.
What a great way to start things off.
The old Pear Bear from This Is My Bourbon Podcast. You know, we do this podcast. I post about it. We've been doing the podcast for like 25 years.
Well, I'm 26, so that's weird.
I started it before you were born.
Hey.
But you somehow figured it out and started it.
I did.
So it's a whole thing. We've got a snack we've never had, neither one of us.
And a whiskey, too.
And a whiskey we've never had. Doritos Late Night Sizzling Cheeseburger. Ooh.
Late night flavors, one bold crunch.
That's it.
I didn't read the other
You made
tagline.
that up without reading?
No. I read it on the back. Late night flavors, one bold crunch, taste the night.
And
See?
then we got
It's on the back there.
Wallersheim.
Wallersheim? Vadersheim.
Wisconsin bourbon from Bill Robarge, Wisconsin Bill, the beer lovers of Wisconsin. How many other TikToks and Reels accounts?
Did you
does he
say
have?
hanging with Bill?
Hanging with Bill?
Yeah.
What else?
Bill's Mafia.
Go Bills, baby. I don't know if he likes the Bills or not.
I don't think he does. I think he's a Packers fan.
Screw you, Bill! All right. So,
Man, we're cutting so much content today. It's crazy.
we're going to pair this snack with this. Neither one of us know if this is going to work. We're going to find out.
Which one do you want to open?
I'll open the chips.
I'll open the whiskey.
And I got to get the timer ready.
All right.
Go ahead and start opening it because everybody gets mad when I use the time to actually open and pour stuff. So,
Okay.
You know how we do.
That was some loose foil.
The timer that doesn't work. 69 seconds, aka a minute and 9 seconds on the timer. You ready?
It's a Pappy bottle, by the way.
It's Pappy.
Yeah, it's Pappy.
Wisconsin Pappy and Doritos. Hit the timer. Let's do it. I didn't even open the bag. See, they're going to be mad again. Oh, you can pour while I open this?
Yeah, look. Teamwork.
Holy.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That smells like pickles.
Oh, good.
Like cheeseburger with pickles on it.
I stand by this. Oh, it smells so good. I stand by this. One of the best pairings in the world. You are going to hate this. Bourbon and olives.
Get the... No. All right. Doritos.
Try it first.
Yep. Cheers.
Think it. Sing it.
That tastes like a freaking
That's
cheeseburger.
perfect. That's a McDonald's cheeseburger.
That tastes like a freaking cheeseburger. Holy. Okay. All right. Rinse your mouth. We got like 10 seconds left. But that's at 69. The timer's wrong.
Oh. Well, I rinsed my mouth out already.
No, that's fine. You keep going.
Oh, okay.
You ignore the timer. That's how the thing works. Like it's like
sorry.
whose line is it anyway?
Oh.
Stuff doesn't
Yeah. I got you.
Shut up. All right, Wisconsin bourbon. Smells pretty good.
It actually smells really nice.
It's kind of cherry and savory.
It reminds me of being out on a farm and drinking whiskey, which is something that you might think.
I don't know if I've ever been on a farm drinking whiskey.
I have. There is Whiskey Thief Distillery.
Yeah.
In Frankfort, Kentucky.
You're talking too
used
much
to be.
for this.
Sorry.
Cheers. Interesting.
I don't mind it. I don't mind that at all.
All right.
I think it's
pour
good.
over.
I think this is going to go great, honestly.
Okay.
Dude, honestly.
I have to drink this and eat these Doritos. I mean, I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't like it by itself, but this is good. This actually brings out a little bit of like if you had some kind of like a toasted bun on a cheeseburger, like butter bun. Does that make sense? Butter bun?
They've both got kind of like a briny character to them.
God.
They work so well together. It's ridiculous.
That's it. It's done.
We haven't done a pairing this good.
Thank you for watching 69
while.
with WhiskeyMutant.
Bye.
Oh, okay. We're back.
We're
normal.
back to the regular podcast.
That's really good.
I'm legit super happy with that. I got whiskey on my phone.
That's okay. That's what happens when you do whiskey with 69.
Yeah, you're right.
Bro. Oh, man.
I mean, I like the chips better than I do the whiskey, but I think together they make them.
They make a perfect pairing.
Yeah. They improve them. Manny.
That's the whole point of Sips and Snacks is you don't have to like have two of the best things. You don't have to like both things.
No.
But if you can make a pairing that makes something better, that's it, man. So I think Bill would be very appreciative of this pairing. Cheeseburger flavored Doritos and the whiskey you sent me, and we like it together.
That's honest.
And if he doesn't, he's going to let us know. He'll tell us.
Yeah.
He's probably texting us right now.
I'm stoked about it, dude.
I'm stoked about these fucking chips right now. These chips right now.
I genuinely like the whiskey.
I like the nose better than the palate, I'll be honest.
I do too. But there is a craftiness to it that, like I was saying earlier, and you kind of cut me off for the sake of time, which is fine.
I was at like 249 seconds.
That's okay. I've never filmed one of those before, okay?
You're like, ah!
It really does remind me overall of something that you would get from Three Boys or Whiskey Thief in Frankfurt. I mean, it's very, very similar. It's not overaged. It's higher proof. Wasn't really exposed to any like higher heat that might give it more contact with the barrel.
Yeah.
I would say. Just take like 2 more. But overall, I think it's solid. I mean, I look forward to seeing what happens when it opens up a little bit too. I'll be honest with you. But regardless, solid pairing. So what have you been drinking recently?
Well, I guess they already know what we're going to review today, right?
Well, they do, yeah, basically because of the title of the episode.
But
and I could not imagine somebody, unless there is somebody, and let us know, you won't, but let us know if
yeah, you won't.
you... I love this game that we're now playing with our listeners. Where basically, I think it's become a meme. I think it really has. Where they know, I think we're playing chicken with our listeners and viewers.
They really want to say something, or they want to message us or do something, but they're like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it.
No.
I'm mad at you.
Where we ask them to say something or send something to us.
Comment below.
Comment. Yeah, exactly. And they're just like,
no.
It's funnier if I don't. It would be wild if there was somebody out there who like downloads the podcast or clicks on the episode of the podcast and they don't pay attention to like the title or the thumbnail.
Right.
And they just like raw dog it.
Maybe it comes up, they're just listening to something else and it just starts playing.
Automatically. I mean, that's possible.
I mean, if you have a bunch of downloaded stuff on Apple, doesn't it just keep playing your list?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Either way, I was at New Riff. I was at New Riff to pick up a bottle. Shout out to Shelby in the gift shop. She said, "Hey, you're from my Bourbon Pod."
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Michael, who listens to the pod and talks about it more, was not there, but apparently she was like, yeah, because she couldn't remember my name exactly, but she was like, "You're the guy from the podcast." And
that's so cool.
She was like, "Michael would remember the name." That's Eric.
Sorry, even 7 years into this, it is just nice that people still like.
Well, it's nice for me to hear it.
I know.
Everybody's always like, "There's Perry," but finally,
that's not true.
It's true, but specifically said my Bourbon Pod. So Shelby, thank you for showing me all the new stuff in the gift shop. Appreciate that. Thank you for making. Oh, thank you for actually holding the bottle I got for so long, because
yeah,
this is a early tips and bits from New Riff. Secret info. I'm sure they don't care if I say anything, but they're thinking about changing it to where you have to pick your bottles up that you pre-order way sooner than what they're doing now. So if you pre-order a bottle from New Riff, you better get it sooner than later.
You might want to, I mean, if you can't pick it up soon, you might want to give them a call or email or something.
Right.
And say,
they're talking about doing it because they have a lot of people, including me, and I apologize a lot. But anyway, I got a bottle. We're going to review that.
We're busy. We got kids.
It's true. And I have to explain that. They're fine. But I got to visit their new bar that's actually now on like the roof of New Riff.
What?
You got to walk all the way up to the top.
There's no elevator?
There is an elevator. But if you walk, you can there's like windows and you can see like where they're like making mash and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So I go up there. Shout out to Ben at the bar. if you're listening, we talked a lot about different pours. He let me have a sample of what we are going to review today and something else. And he also makes a great smoked old fashioned.
Nice.
So I had a smoked old fashioned from New Riff, and
the headliners.
No, unfortunately, the headliner is in such demand in low quantities that you have to buy a full flight to get it. And unfortunately, I had like 1 hour in between volleyball.
You had responsibilities.
Yes. So had some New Riff, had a smoked old fashioned. Always a pleasure going to New Riff. Shout out to them. If you're there, you have to visit New Riff. I'm actually going to go grab a bottle that and let Perry have a little bit that I tried. Our friends in Florida and Tampa, Liquor Depot. I posted this on my Instagram. They have a rare character pick.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to try it. It's really good. So I've had that.
Sorry, I thought you were still talking about New Riff for a second.
No. We're going to have New Riff. Spoiler alert. But let me go get that while you start talking. But yeah, that's what I've had. I've had a single barrel from our friends at Liquor Depot and Rare Character. And then New Riff, smoked old fashioned.
Nice. I killed the 1792 full proof. Okay. Well, I killed the 1792 full proof single barrel from Liquor Barn that I got a few weeks ago. Yesterday or the night before.
You want a new glass or?
No, I'll just go with this one. I figure I'll save those two for the review.
Here it is. If you're watching,
beautiful label.
Yeah, it's got a little.
Isn't it funny how we're turning
hot chicken on there?
We're turning into the Rare Character podcast.
Well, we got to make up for some previous
lost time.
We got to make up for some stuff every once in a while.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Killed that. Otherwise, nothing really too out of the ordinary. I have been kind of drinking on some Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B524.
And your cocktails.
The cocktails, the cocktail that I made on my stream last night, the Wild Rush, that we also talked about on Patreon. I did a blind flight last night on my stream as well that I did not have the answers for.
What did you do? You just talked about them?
I drank through it.
Who sent them?
I don't know.
The ultimate blind
The
flight.
ultimate blind, the blindest of blind flights.
Don't know what they are.
Yep.
Does that person know, though?
I don't think so.
Did you show the bottles? Did they recognize their handwriting?
I just kind of poured them and went through them.
I would ask for somebody to comment if those were your things, but you won't.
Yeah. So.
The ultimate blind.
Ultimate blind flight, man.
The ultimate cliffhanger blind.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna know.
Nobody's got any idea.
Okay. I like it. That's chaos.
That's kind of it. But I want to find out what's going on with this rare character here.
Shout out to Trey and everybody at Liquor Depot in Tampa.
This smells like maple.
Think so?
Is it a...
It's just a single barrel. It's the Rio mash bill.
I mean, it just smells straight up like maple. Am I crazy?
Mm-mm. No, I think it's I could see a little bit of maple. I think it's more of like a barbecue-y.
Yeah,
I could see that. Barbecue. Maybe maple barbecue?
Sure.
Yeah. 8 years, 114.8 proof. Pretty good, right? I picked a good one. Silence.
Dude, I'm sorry. Sorry. Dead air, but
it's such the perfect proof too. 114, so it's not too much, but if you had a couple, it wouldn't be as bad.
I don't mean to I feel like I'm probably being a little bit influenced by the proof. It really does remind me of old Granddad 114 though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not dissimilar from that flavor profile.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a nuttiness to it. It's got a cinnamon note to it as well. The finish is nice and robust as well.
I talked to Trey actually last night over Instagram, and we both agreed that it was like almost like the perfect. It's like the perfect liquor store or spirits or bourbon store pick, because it's just enough kind of different and like complex for like the nerds.
Yeah.
But it's also good for somebody who maybe doesn't like have that adventure side.
It'd be good to pick up for like a father-in-law who's a bourbon fan.
Right.
But
he's also just like, I just like bourbon.
Exactly.
Like,
but like doesn't know, like he's had his Woodfords and his Blantons.
Right.
And like, he's run the gamut of like the things that are
it's not
quote
like,
unquote special.
right.
But he doesn't know where else to go. And you kind of want to give him something that's a little bit different. And even if like you don't know something that's a little bit different to give him, I think that's something interesting about Rare Character in general, that they stand out on the shelf.
Yeah, wax and colorful labels.
Exactly. It's a tall bottle. The price is just like enough in like kind of budget where it's giftable.
Mm-hmm. But it's also still an 8-year whiskey, so
exactly.
You're getting what you pay for.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I think that it will stand up for for something that people will feel, like they will be excited about it.
But this bottle in particular is just like, it's good for somebody who's wanting to try something new, and it's not unapproachable to them, but it's also good for somebody who's had everything and they want their normal like complexity and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just want to share that with you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Share it with your father-in-law. Not you.
I don't know him.
Yeah. I've got 2.
I've got none. I don't have
I can share mine.
Listen.
Both of mine are wonderful.
Oh, I know. Brett is a legend. I mean, he's in the Civil War.
Oh, yeah. Still.
So I will gladly hang out with Brett.
Chuck will be there for you in an instance.
Sorry, I could not remember Chuck's name, but he was nice, but he was very chill. So you've got the best of both worlds, because you got Chuck, who's very chill. When I talk to him, he's just laid back. He's like, whatever you need.
Yeah.
And then you got Brett, who's like, let's go.
Let's go, man. Let's go now.
Let's go distill bourbon and reenact some Civil War stuff. So April's dad, she don't know him.
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you. My dad?
Couldn't tell you.
Where is he at? Comment below if you know where he's at.
You won't.
You won't. And if you do, that's crazy. That's the one thing that they actually do.
Dude,
like,
what if he's like,
I am your father. So either way, yes, you win. You win the father-in-law battle.
Yeah.
And the dad battle. Shout out Papa Ritter.
Yeah. Thanks.
Papa Ritter, shout out for sending me a birthday text.
Yeah.
So
he's good about that, man.
You're actually my dad right now.
This podcast goes crazy sometimes.
I don't know what's going on.
It goes nutty mode. Hey, before I forget to, we do have a bonus episode that should already be out. This is something else that I have been drinking, and I kind of forgot to talk about it. But this is from our friends over at the Woodwork Collective. I don't exactly know how to pronounce this name. But it's the Altschuler & Co.
Sounds good.
Straight
Don't
rye
ask me
whiskey.
to pronounce anything.
Altschuler & Co. Straight rye whiskey, aged 7 years. This is a blend of rye whiskeys, aged 7 years, finished in it's double barreled, basically.
There's something about it that I really like.
You're gonna flip your lid, man. Do you want to smell it before?
I read the messages, and it's almost like they made this for me.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. It's.
All right, wrap this episode up. I want to do the bonus one.
But it should be out already. We're going to review this bottle. I want to talk a little bit about how...
you know why it was a bonus episode, though?
Why?
Because it's over.
Oh, yeah. Big Ass August is over.
Big Ass August
Too, yeah.
is over. But we had to go out with a bang.
We didn't get any new Patreon subscribers.
You know what? Big Ass August is just for us and everybody listening right now.
Yeah, it was a celebration.
We probably said Big Dumbass August too much, and they were like, you know what? I ain't getting involved in this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
I also wanted to talk about on the bonus episode how 2024 has kind of been the year of the rye for me.
Year of the Rye.
It's not that bourbon has been
You've never been a
disappointing.
big rye guy, and I think you've become a big rye guy.
I've always loved rye, but it's
Rye
like
guy,
this is
loving rye and rye guy.
the two different things. Yeah, for sure. But this has been the year that rye has like
Touched you.
really, yeah, it's in my soul now.
Yeah.
And there is just something in the water this year that rye is like taking over. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. If you haven't listened to it yet, go and check it out in the main podcast feed on the YouTube channel. The early access will be on Patreon as well, as it always is. But also thank you to everybody who supported us during Big Ass August. It's our favorite time of year to put out bonus content. We always go kind of nutty mode with it as well.
Nutty.
Do some crazy stuff. And also thank you to Woodwork Collective for sending us this
Beautiful
bottle as well. We're going to get into more of that on the bonus, but check that out
on the bonus.
Folks, we got a double review today.
Double.
Double. Two new riffs.
Oh, yes.
One of them, it's a little bit delayed. But,
you know,
it's not exactly...
I talked about it earlier.
It's not exactly convenient for us to go up to Newport, Kentucky all the time.
Yeah, people may, it's only an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, that's a lot when you got to plan ahead.
Yeah, also, if I had thought about it when I was going up to see Taking Back Sunday with Lucy a few weeks ago,
it worked out.
I probably could have.
It worked out.
We're
good. We're good.
Yeah. We're good. Either way, we got the Ol New Riff Bourbon.
I will make sure I put this in the same exact spot. But there it is. Look at that.
Oh, it's
that
so
don't
beautiful.
look like no normal New Riff, y'all.
No. Even just for the aesthetics alone, I want a bottle of this.
Well, it may not be. It's sold out.
Well, you know what? There's a thing called secondary market.
You know what? We don't do that around here, Perry. You're not a real... Just shut up. All right. And our second one.
It's the New Riff Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey that's 8 years old.
8 years old.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Ring-a-ding-ding. I didn't even think about this when I went to pick up the Ol New Riff.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, baby.
Gotta get that too.
Oh yeah.
So the mash bill on the Ol New Riff Bourbon, it's 60% heirloom corn, 26% Balboa rye, and 14% two-row malted barley.
Ben, the bartender, we were talking about this, and we basically said this is like, you have like a car that you like, and it's New Riff, the regular New Riff. Like, this is a good car. But then, you know what? I want to have my same car, but I want to customize the insides of it. So New Riff basically took all the specialty grains they have.
Yeah.
Put it into this special water. They did all this stuff. This is like the freaking Fast and the Furious New Riff.
Which part of this is the NOS? I think it's the Balboa rye. Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt. One of my favorite ryes by itself, and they put it in this?
And the mash bill on the 8-year-old rye is their 95% rye and 5% malted rye. I'm just so excited for these, man. I cannot wait. We'll start with the bourbon. I think that's the most fair between these two.
Yeah. I'm assuming if it's like any other New Riff Rye, it's going to be a little spicy. It may, I think you always start with the bourbon when you do like a New Riff Rye or something. So,
can I just say real quick?
What?
I had a small out-of-body experience where I was just thinking, I'm very fortunate to be able to do this as a side gig.
Yeah.
It's just
fun.
It's fun. It's nice that I get to do this
fun.
with Keep Whiskey Fun. Thankful to get to do this with somebody who appreciates it as much as I do, and you support this.
I do. I support it. I
too.
appreciate it. Maybe you hear me complain about stuff, but so
It's
what?
it's all in
I
jest.
love whiskey and bourbon and rye. I love it all. I've probably changed. I don't hunt. I don't collect as much, but I enjoy it probably more than ever because I'm starting to like pull back a little bit and actually enjoy it while I'm not trying to make content out of it.
And something else too. However long ago, a year and a half, whatever.
10.
I also have no concept of time.
See, it's not just me.
I said I didn't want to be known as just like the bourbon guy, and like part of that is true in like my real life. Like I don't want to only be known for bourbon, but like
now you like rye, so now you.
But now I love now. Yeah, now I want it to be rye stuff as well. But that is such a like dumb thing to say when I'm on a bourbon podcast, and I'm not like taking that back, but I just love bourbon so much.
I think it's just okay if
to
somebody
build boundaries.
Boundaries. But I think if one person that maybe they're not as into it as much, knows you as the bourbon guy, not Ian. Speaking of New Riff, but that's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. Some people may only think of you as a bourbon guy, but that doesn't mean anything. That's fun. You like bourbon? I'll be somebody's bourbon guy.
Yeah, of course.
So
I just like
I know what you're saying.
It felt like a very way too like defining statement to make
I understand.
on a podcast that I've put so many years into.
Yeah.
Just about bourbon.
I know what you're saying. I think a lot of people listening know what you're saying, but we'll be your bourbon guy.
I've been very introspective recently. I think it's because I've got another kid that's going to be born in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So countdown's here. I'm going to miss episode 350.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
Chaos. All right. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Bro. Just stuff. And once again, this is the Ol New Riff Bourbon.
I did not realize this was only 6 years old. I thought this was like 8.
You know what? Off the nose, I could mistake this for 10 plus years. He's going for it. I teased it a little bit earlier, but this is something else. This, and I said this when I had it, the little sample.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think I've ever had something, I've had stuff similar, but I don't think I've had something that was so dusty, but not dusty. Like it's the freshest, it tastes like the freshest
You said that about the 2XO American Oak last week. This is one of the best bourbons I've had this year. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
this is phenomenal.
It's one of my top pours of 2024.
I mean, immediately at 100 proof. I am not left wanting anything more than what is in this bottle. It's rich. It's decadent.
Rich is a very good description of this.
It's but it's also like got a crispness to it as well.
Crunch,
like,
bro.
It is a Nestle Crunch.
It's chocolate,
but
ice, and
it's a Nestle Crunch around a mandarin orange.
Orange.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, chocolate and orange. With that crunch.
This is
that rice.
Wild. It's not overly oaked.
Mm-mm.
Which, even as somebody who loves big oaky bourbons, this doesn't go too far. It is so well balanced. And I think that it has just enough of that rye spice as well. By the way, the finish, holy crap.
Finish is amazing.
It's very close to a 5. I mean, I'm at like a 4.5 on it, I think.
Yeah.
Like getting close to a 5.
It's like 4.75. You did that.
Right. But it is I'm having flashbacks to the Wilderness Trail 8-year high rye bourbon.
It's got one note on the palate that I absolutely love that I only get in really old bourbons. It's that purple cotton candy. There is a very purple cotton candy note that I would never get in anything that's younger than 10 years old.
Yeah. And it's 6.
I mean, it's 6. Yeah. It is rich and chocolatey and candy-like. Yeah. I mean, you said oranges. I almost say chocolate grapes.
I get there too.
But either way, it's like chocolate and fruit. But
yeah.
It's so dusty, but not, if that makes sense. And obviously I've said that just the previous week. But either way, yeah. You think that you're drinking a 10+ year bourbon.
The nose reminds me of 2 things. One, the earliest iterations of New Riff Bourbon. Like the first couple of releases of their Bottled and Bond.
Right.
Which I have such a fondness for because it was between that and the original run of Wilderness Trail. Those were 2 products that came out in such early days of This Is My Bourbon podcast. It felt like I know I've said this before, but it felt like they were growing up along with the show.
I know it wasn't on the show, but I feel like we have the same experience. They were like our first 2 like experiments outside of the top brands.
Exactly.
It was Wilderness Trail and New Riff were probably the first 2 bottles I got that I was like, oh, this isn't.
Felt like you were taking a risk. Yeah.
This isn't Buffalo Trace. What am I doing?
Yeah.
They were my original craft distilleries.
Yeah.
And
it's the ones that made the most impact on me.
And here we are.
Yeah.
What we got on now? Now they got old new stuff.
Yeah, right. The other thing is that it definitely reminds me, and that's going back to that old part of it, the old part of it, that there is a quality to it that reminds me of some dusty pours that I have had.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's the Balboa Rye. I really do. Probably. Or the Heirloom Core. I don't know. I hate to like break down the components of it too much because it feels like I'm not giving enough credit to just the gestalt of it all, the bigger picture. But whatever they have done at a DNA level has made this into a product that you just cannot get anywhere else on
They killed it.
the market.
They
And
absolutely killed this release.
I'm like, I'm absolutely in love with this, man. I really, really am.
I did have a chance to do the Old New Riff Rye, and I will say it's good,
but it's not as good.
but it's just like it's just a rye that tastes a little better than a normal rye.
Ooh, okay.
It's good.
Interesting.
It's not. I didn't have the same experience with the rye that I did the bourbon.
Sure.
And even like I'm calling y'all out at the bar. New Riff. Y'all were like, glad you got the bourbon. That's our pick. They picked the bourbon at the bar. They said that's the one. Like if you had to get one, obviously they're, the rye sold out actually before.
I remember us talking about that.
Got a chance to get the bourbon. So luckily got the bourbon. But
to be fair though, I think that overall the rise at New Riff, and we haven't even gotten to the 8 year yet.
oh, they're phenomenal.
I think the rise have just been heads and shoulders above the bourbons. And that's not to say that the bourbons haven't been great.
The 6 year
The sherry rye, like there have just been incredible releases.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that the rye would sell out before the bourbon.
But I gotta say, my opinion and a few people at the bar, if you gotta get one, you can only get one. The bourbon is where you go.
Yeah.
Get two, get one of each. But if you only
looking for the bourbon,
yeah, this is delicious.
Yeah. I'm gonna say we go ahed and do our nose palate finish and price review here.
I can almost tell you
on the bourbon. I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's very close to a perfect score. It's not exactly perfect. There's a couple of just minor flaws with it. But I am overall just thrilled with this. What was the price?
$59.66.
This was $60.
That's with tax. That's the final price out the door.
But it was $55 before
$55.
tax. So we'll say, I think 60 is probably a fair.
$60?
Yeah.
That's my 5 on this.
Yeah.
I have an 18.5.
My palate is also a 5.
I did 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, and a 5.
Yeah.
I think if I'm getting very picky, this is a good thing because when something is really good, I start getting a little bit more picky because I'm like, what could make this perfect? I would love, don't crucify me, everybody. I would love to know what this was if they just barrel proofed it. And I think that would put me.
What was that?
It was the ice thing.
Oh.
I think everything is almost perfect. The price is perfect. Everything is almost perfect. I just felt if this was like a little bit more proofy, it would blow my balls off.
I disagree. I think at 100 proof, I couldn't ask for more. And I think that.
But I can always ask for more.
Oh, I know. But taking it at face value.
Yeah, I get it.
At 100 proof, bottled and bond, the palate is so incredibly robust and so finely tuned that I couldn't imagine it any differently. And so I have to give it a 5.
Okay.
I think the nose doesn't represent the palate as well, though. I'm giving it a 4. I think it's still inviting. I think there is a floralness to it that is not on the palate. And again, I do think there's a little bit more of a thinness to it, but it's still A little bit darker in some aspects as well. Finish could be a little bit longer. Doesn't, again, quite match the palate. There I'm also at a 4. So it's an 18 out of 20. I would like to put this up against the 8-year Wilderness Trail High Rye eventually. Not right now. We've got other stuff we got to do. But in recent memory, this is just one of my favorite things we've had. It's
amazing.
like
I give it 18.5. I'm down with this.
So
thing, man.
very quickly hit like top 5, and you know, as we hit like, you know, the later half of the year, we start thinking about what we're going to put into our top 10 list. We're not always going off of like what our highest scores were, right?
What tickles our fancy?
Exactly. Even if there is something that might score a 20 out of 20, that doesn't mean that like that experience was the best, you know? And I'm not even saying that this is like a number 1 seed or number 1 spot.
It's close.
But it's close. I mean, like I'm already feeling it's top 5. It's made me forget
some other stuff already.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. That being said, though, we still have the 8-year rye.
Right.
I mean, I can't even think about what I thought about. I can't think about what I thought about the 8-year bourbon.
We liked it.
But I don't think I liked it as much as I did this.
I don't think it was this.
So great. Anyway.
It's over there.
The 8-year.
8-year rye. Bro. All right, let's turn it back to that statement you made earlier where we talked about how much we love New Riff Rye. All right, New Riff Rye.
Okay.
You're back.
All right.
You're back in the picture.
You brought me back.
Lord.
You cast me out and you brought me back in.
I don't know if I've ever had a rye that was so much strawberry. This is a strawberry gingerbread man on the nose, if that's a thing. If you can make a gingerbread man that's strawberry, that's what this smells like.
Is there not?
I hope to God this tastes the same as it smells. I want to taste the strawberry gingerbread man.
You know what's funny is...
I just said it. Can't take it back now.
I was about to say that there was like a Christmas cookie thing to it, and you already said gingerbread, so...
It's a strawberry gingerbread on the nose. Okay. Right into it. Oh, that finish is spices. Bleep it out. Fuck.
I'm not going to bleep it.
That finish, dude. That's one of the most spicy, in a good way. I'm not saying like, oh. Wow. The rye spice on that finish is out of control.
But it does go away a little bit more quickly than I was hoping it would.
I don't know what drink you had. Dang, it's still on my tongue right now. Have mercy. Okay, I got to figure this out now.
Just because you were born on the same day as Uncle Jesse.
I am Uncle Jesse. Forever. Damn.
I don't like it as much as the bourbon. You like it more? Really?
This is a damn good rye.
I don't disagree, but I don't...
Especially after having the old New Riff Rye. I mean, as somebody who loves rye whiskey, they may have almost perfected the rye whiskey. I mean, I mean, if it gets better, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take one of your statements that you said about this, where it's like, I don't know if I want anything to change with this rye. Because I was like, imagine this at barrel proof. And
Yeah.
I said, imagine this at barrel proof. Imagine, it could get better. And you were like, I don't think I could see it any better. This New Riff Rye.
And I'm thinking, I want this at like 112 proof. The rye.
I don't know if I could see this any better. But if age does anything with New Riff Rye, it obviously makes it amazing. If this is a 19.5 right now, at 10 years, this is probably a 12 out of 10 for me. And that's just me. Like, I love a spicy rye. I love when a rye actually is like, you know what? I know you like bourbon. I know you like low proof. I know you don't like spice. So we're going to make a rye whiskey that caters to you. Yeah, that's good. I understand. But when somebody is like, you know what? Here's some rye whiskey. Get used to it. I like that. 19.5 out of 10. Out of 20. Sorry. Out of 20. I got a little ahead of the game. 19.5.
He got ahead of himself.
Yes, 19.5 out of 20. This is legit a rye whiskey. And the spice is amazing. The nose just reminds you of it. It's a strawberry gingerbread man. It tastes like it, and then you get the lingering feeling on your tongue and down your throat that this is a rye whiskey and it's here to stay. And this bottle will last me for a while because I could sip on 1 ounce of this for a long time because it is so spicy.
Yeah.
So that's probably a very like different like way of grading this because I'm looking at it as like screw everything else rye whiskey, but I don't know. That's just what my brain went to when I tasted this. And I had not had this. I did not sample this before, all that. Like my brain went to like judge me like I'm the rye whiskey.
Yeah. The more I've gone back to it, the more I like it.
Oh my God.
I like the spice on the finish. I think that it loses its flavor though on the finish.
Okay.
A little bit of that like gingerbread quality does stick around, but the oak kind of disappears for me. I'm not saying it's a bad finish. I don't know. I'm just not as like enthused by it as you are. Again, I think that this needs to be higher proof. So I will judge it as it is and what I like about it as it is. Because that's what I did with the Ol New Riff too.
I went straight off.
I don't want to
straight off the gut.
Off the dome.
Tell me what you think, and that's what I thought.
Nose. I think the nose is the best part of this.
The nose is.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I think the palate is pretty equal with the nose. Maybe a slightly under at a 3.5. I think you can probably figure out my my score on the finish is going to be just a little bit under that at a 3. What's the price on this?
I'm trying to remember. I think $69.
So 70. I mean, for an 8-year-old whiskey in this economy.
In this economy. This economy. Tell me. Yeah, 70. $69.99.
I'm not upset about that. I'll give it a 4. What?
I'm just playing.
What? That's a good score for
I know. I like giving you a hard time. It's a 5 for me, though.
So I'm at what? 15?
I think so.
Yeah.
19.5 for me.
To a 15. I mean, that's a pretty stark difference, but...
Well, my thing was 5s across the board, except the palate did not... Well, maybe it's the finish. No.
Oh, 14.5. Sorry.
The palate didn't give me as much strawberry as I got on the nose. And the fact that there's strawberry in a rye strawberry gingerbread was amazing. I wanted it to taste like the nose, and it was just slightly off. Everything else, 5 for me. 19.5.
14.5.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference. That's the biggest difference I think we've ever had on a review. I mean, it's still a buy for me.
Yeah, both of these are a buy.
Yeah, I mean, and I would...
You gave it an 18.5?
I gave it an 18. You gave it an 18.5.
19.5?
Yeah.
New Riff all day. Come on.
Ian's happy.
Ian's very happy right now.
We got 2 pours from Todd.
Pours from the Todd.
You also have a birthday present.
It's here.
Finally. Well, it was here on Monday, the day after we recorded.
I'm gonna save this one.
Last.
Presents from the floor. Uh-oh. It's in a silver bag. A bag in a bag.
A bag in a bag.
I see that Jolly Roger.
Uh-huh.
And I see that it has a straw hat on it.
Uh-huh.
The One Piece is real! What do we got? Zip the bag. Smells good. Anime ape?
Yeah.
Oh, you got me a button up.
Yeah, dude.
This is amazing.
It's a Straw Hat Pirate Hawaiian shirt. Button-down shirt.
Come here. Love you.
Love you.
This is awesome. Look at this. If you're watching, if you're listening, just go to the YouTube version. Look at that Jolly Roger there. The best Jolly Roger ever. The Straw Hat Pirates. Led by our savior, Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy.
He's going to be king of the pirates. I got to hide this from Dash. You know that. Dash loves One Piece. He may steal this.
I saw that, and I was like,
That's
that's got to be it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, dude. Sorry it was so late.
It's okay.
That's
Better late than never.
Yeah. 11 days late. But like I said,
I have no concept of time according to you. So.
Yeah, well,
My birthday was yesterday.
like
For
I
all I
said,
know.
like I said last episode, I ordered it and it sat in their shipping facility for like 2 weeks. And finally, when it shipped out, it sat in UPS for way too long.
Watch this.
Anyway. Oh, are you blending?
Yeah, you want
The
some?
two? Yeah.
All right, I just blended before we do Todd's samples, his urine samples. I blended the 8-year rye along with the Ol New Riff. Oh, heaven.
Whoa. That doesn't smell like anything I've ever had before.
Okay, what is that?
I don't know. It smells like, in the best way, staying at an old hotel room, like
Okay,
going to
I
like an old inn,
Well, you know
kind of
what?
like the Beaumont Inn.
It's kind of okay. I see that, and this is probably kind of similar. Do you remember like the waxy, like little bottles of juice you'd get? Like they were in that can.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
juice, but wax, but like it was awesome.
Yes.
That's what that smells like. Mm.
Yo.
You know that finish you didn't like on the rye? Interesting. What would we call this? Ol New Riff Bourbon blended with 8 Year Rye.
I knew. I was gonna say, I knew you win.
I knew you win.
I don't know. That was just the first thing that came to mind. But
That's
I like the Ol 8.
Ole.
That's really freaking good.
Hell yeah.
Anyway. All right. So Todd Couper sent us a blind flight that we're going to do here. It's, 2 samples.
Yeah.
We're going to do that while we're doing high proof hot takes.
I got one.
I do. High proof hot takes and tips and bits.
Okay.
Well.
I'm going to check out sample A before I do this because damn. Okay.
Holy moly.
Fucking Todd. That smells like a dusty weeded bourbon.
That ain't dusty.
That is, is this, it's a dusty weeded bourbon.
Now, he sent these specifically for our birthday, too.
Man, look at Minnie. She's asleep.
Oh, Minnie.
Lord, I want to drink this.
She's sleeping in a paper box, too. Or no, a potato box. Why do you have a potato box?
Dude, that's old as fuck. That's like I immediately think this is like a 15 plus year weeded bourbon. Is this Pappy? Like a good Pappy?
This might.
Or a WLW?
I need a moment.
God.
That doesn't.
I wanted to be mad in my high proof hot takes. And now I feel good. Okay, listen. High proof hot takes. Any restaurant that specializes in something and you don't have that one thing, just stop. I went to Arby's. What does Arby's have? I know they had the meats. I get it. But what is Arby's supposed to have? Out of everything on their menu, what do they have the most of? Tell me.
Roast beef.
Exactly. Roast beef. The other day, it was just me and the boys. April and Addison were gone. Me and the boys, they wanted Wendy's. I've become not a big fan of Wendy's. They get my order wrong every time.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask why.
Not because of the food. I love the nugs. I love the bacon
Wendy's,
cheese,
man.
junior bacon cheeseburger. No, I'm just saying this particular Wendy's has got my order wrong, and I said, I'm not doing it.
You know what's better than a junior bacon cheeseburger?
Sex. What, though? What were you going to say?
I actually don't have a better answer than that.
Okay.
So,
so there's a particular Wendy's that has an Arby's right beside of it. And we pulled up and I looked at that Arby's and I said, you know what? It's probably been at least 5 to 20 years since I had an Arby's.
5 to 20 is a wild range.
At least a couple of years. I'll be honest, at least a couple of years. And I said, God bless. Arby's roast beef sandwich with Arby's sauce sounds amazing right now. I want that so bad. Got in the drive-thru, got the boy stuff. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I'm going to order 3 roast beef sandwiches, the medium size
Just for
one.
yourself?
Yes. I haven't ate hardly anything all day. It's dinner time. I'm ordering like 3 medium roast beef sandwiches, extra Arby's sauce on the side, curly fries. I'm ready to go. I kid you not, dude. I pulled up before I could even say anything. Before you order, sorry, we're out of roast beef. My hands were on the steering wheel. And I took what felt in my head 60 minutes. It was like 3 seconds. I gripped the steering wheel and I go, how am I going to handle this right now? My children are in the car. And all I could do was like, really? I said, your main thing you're out of. Yes, sorry. Thank you. And sped off. I think I broke my steering wheel. I gripped it so hard. I could not. I had flashbacks of Taco Bell. And I posted this on my story and on Facebook and all this stuff. You know, the Taco Bell story 5 years ago. 3 years ago.
100.
3 years ago, I think Perry confirmed it.
It was
Almost 4.
either
3.
the Christmas of 21 or 22. I
Either way.
think it was 22
Either way.
when that happened.
April's sister and her family were over. I tried to order 20 tacos, 10 beef, 10 chicken. The guy in the drive-thru said, really? And then he said, you'd feed your family Taco Bell. I drove through the drive-thru, flipped them off. I've never ate Taco Bell again. I've never been so mad at a fast food drive-thru than this. I wanted that roast beef so bad. The one thing they're supposed to have, Perry.
What time of night was this?
6 o'clock.
Okay, that's way
This
too.
isn't
That's
10 at night. where they're
really
closing.
early.
No, this is 6 o'clock. This is dinner time. High proof hot take.
It's not like it was on a college campus either.
No, it wasn't. It was down the road. There's no college close to me. If you have a specialty item, and it's not like, I'm not talking about like a craft, like we only make a limited amount of something like restaurant. No, I'm talking about a fast food drive-through. Listen, this is the same. If Taco Bell would have said, I don't have any tacos left, this would be the same thing. Arby's, fuck you. You can believe that. I think I've said it too many times.
It doesn't matter.
Does it? I thought it did.
I don't know, man.
Anyway. Arby's.
I'm moving on to sample B, by the way.
Okay. The sample A, it's Pappy. What is that? That smells like...
It might also be dusty.
That smells like you took... And this is a good thing. If you took a Werther's original and made it into a candle and started burning it into... This is the best freaking caramel.
It's
caramel heavy.
Wait until you taste it.
Lord have mercy.
All right.
Caramel heaven.
You open A. I'll open B.
Thank you, Todd.
Todd.
Whatever these are amazing.
Oh, also, I don't have any high proof hot takes this week.
You know, the other day when you had your rant, well, this was mine.
Yeah.
All right. Am I going first?
Sure.
What the fuck? No way. No way. There's no way. There's no way. I read the first line. There's no way.
All right. I'll tell you this one first then. Wild Turkey Private Selection. This is a new item Wild Turkey is selling as a distillery exclusive. At least that is what I was told from one of the workers in the visitor center. This bottle was distilled on 3/2/15 and barreled on 7/30/24 at 101 proof for the Wild Turkey Visitor Center. It's barrel number 0278 and was stored in warehouse Tyrone B on floor 4. This does not taste, first of all, like a Wild Turkey product.
There's no Wild Turkey spice on this. It's all caramel.
It also does not taste like a new product. I think this also tastes like it is dusty.
What's the product called?
Wild Turkey Private Select.
Just Private Select?
Yeah. It's like the new
Just a gift shop select.
yeah, but I think it's what is replacing American Spirit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Last chance. Tell me your 100% honest guess for age on this.
Like how old this bourbon is?
Yes. On sample A.
6 years old.
How did you know? This does not taste 6 years old.
Because it is dusty.
You cheated.
No. It's dusty old, not age old.
So this is Ol New Riff. Basically.
That's what I mean. Like it's
the same thing we just experienced in that.
Kind of. So is this another like Old Booker's?
This is a 6-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey that was distilled and bottled expressively for the Hotel Irvine Cobb in Paducah, Kentucky. It's called Old Irvine Cobb.
Huh?
The hotel does not exist anymore, but was named after the famed author, humorist, editor, and columnist who penned more than 60 books and 300 short stories, as well as wrote for the New York World and Saturday Evening Post.
No way,
Many
dude.
of Irvine Cobb's stories were adapted for silent movies, and he became an actor in the 30s, where he scored a couple major roles. He also hosted the 7th Academy Awards in 1935. Now that you know more information about Irvine Cobb, Irvin, it's I-R-V-I-N, Irvin Cobb, than you ever cared to know, this whiskey was barreled in 1957 at Heaven Hill Distillery and bottled in 1963 at 90 proof. I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. Cheers. A 6-year-old
1963 bourbon.
1963
It
bourbon.
is so rare. First of all, it's so rare that we have dusty bourbon. Second of all, it is exceedingly rare that we have dusty bourbon on the podcast. I mean, genuinely. Because why would we...
That goes to show you that old school bourbon tastes 10 years more than what it really is. I thought this was a 15-year-old bourbon. 15 plus. I thought it was.
I knew it was dusty.
I knew it was dusty.
Shut up.
But still, I thought it was like old. Like in age. Not old in like distilled age. I thought it was like old. I knew it was dusty. That's crazy, bro. That's a crazy pour. That's a crazy pour, Todd. You are out of your mind.
He hosted the 7th Academy Awards in 1935. Dude. That's wild. I also forgot to mention that he sent these to our P.O. Box at P.O. Box 22609, Lexington, Kentucky, 40522.
Send them!
If you want to also send us samples or pours or whatever, you can do so. Next week, we have a review that will have been sent to our P.O. Box as well. So tune in for that. We got tips and bits. Next.
Tips and bits. What do I have? Have I watched I've just been watching anime lately. Oh, the anime. Yeah, all the animes I always mention. I just remembered. The season 11 of Impractical Jokers is out. And it's just classic, bro. Like
R.I.P. Joe.
All right, he's not dead. He's just not on the show. But they they continue to amaze me at how they find places to go that people don't recognize.
Did you see that Sal got cut from the Giants?
Yes. So good. But yeah, if you've never watched Impractical Jokers, I say go back and just start and just watch them. It's the best. Like, it's fun, but it's the best. Like, I don't have anything to watch right now. Let me put this on, and
really
before you know it, you
one
watch
of those shows.
2 hours of it.
Yeah.
So, and I've said that I've recommended it before, but the newest season is out. You can get it on demand, I believe. So yeah, I've been enjoying the new Impractical Jokers.
I've got a couple of things. One of my favorite shows of all time, Curb Your Enthusiasm. ended this year. It's Larry David, of course, one of the founders and originators of Seinfeld, a semi-autobiographical show. I'd have to have talked about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I mean, if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it.
It's amazing. Have you watched the final season yet?
No, I've watched the first couple, and then I mainly watched it because Andrew Santino, one of my favorite comedians, like he was on an episode, and I started watching it then like a couple years ago, but I've not watched the new one.
You should watch through it.
Okay.
It's insane, man. I mean, it's if you want to understand why I enjoy some of the most absurdist Australian comedy that I've recommended on the show before, Curb Your Enthusiasm is at the root of some of it because of how, even though there is, it still connects and you can still like find like punchlines and actual, humor in it too. There is a build up to genuine humor with it.
Yeah.
Right. But the final season of Curb kind of mirrors the final season of Seinfeld as well. I think it does the final season of Seinfeld better.
It's the final season.
Also, go watch Arrested Development. That's like a consistent. That's a consistent tips and bits from me.
There's always money in the banana stand.
I will always recommend Arrested Development. Also, I just started listening to a new podcast. I'm only a couple episodes in. It's the Crash Dummies podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Mike and Pat. They're both from Michigan. Incredibly funny. It's mostly banter, but they always put out a question for their listeners that they then call their listeners on. Like they call
Maybe that's what we should do.
their listeners for to get them to respond to.
We're just going to start calling everybody.
It's hilarious. I mean, I'm hooked on it. They're so funny. I'll tell you something that you would resonate with. They do no research.
Yes. My kind of guys.
They're big. They're not too big that I don't think we couldn't get them as guests. Maybe. We might have to.
Okay, let's do it.
See if we could reach out sometime. But in the meantime, we want to reach out and let you know that you could support the show by heading to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. There was a fly on me and I just hurt my hand.
You didn't get it.
A little bit. Yeah, well.
Hold still. I'm just playing. What if I do that? I'll slap the shit out of you right now.
At least I would feel something. Anyway. For as little as $5 a month, you get bonus content every single week. On Mondays, there is a bonus episode. On Tuesdays, there are the pregame chats and the uncut version of the podcast before the edited, slimmed down version of the podcast as well.
A lot of stuff that goes on that uncut.
Man, we cut out a lot this week that was just for Patreon. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 I probably would have gotten in big trouble with Barry's wife. So, if you want to get some merch, you can go to bourbonshop.threadless.com. Perry puts all the designs up there. There's sales. Check your email. If you signed up for the email, I get stuff all the time. But I'm like, why is Perry sending me this? Because I thought he would just give me something. But
if you have questions or comments, you can send them to thisinmybourbonshop@gmail.com.
yeah. If you want to follow us, what were you going to say?
Nothing. Just go on.
Okay. Social media, everybody has it. If you want to follow me, I'm at WhiskeyMutant.
Everybody has it.
Yeah. You can follow Perry at Peter1792.
It's like herpes. Everybody
has it. He even has an extra account. It's Perry Ritter Music, if you want to see some of that stuff. But if you want to follow the show as a whole, at My Bourbon Pod. So...
Yeah. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review on your podcast app of choice. That helps us get up in the Apple podcast charts as well.
We'll read them.
We'll read it out here on the podcast. On the podcast. Also, if you are listening in a podcast app, you may have noticed that at the top of the description, there is now a link that says, send us a text message.
Oh.
If you click on that link, you can actually send us a text message. That is through Buzzsprout, our new hosting site.
Buzz.
That's another way that you can connect with...
We're talking about Buzz a lot today.
Yeah, that is true. If you slapped me, that would start a whole new meta with the... Anyway. That is a brand new way that you can connect with us. Hit the link, text us, send us something. We'll read it out, or we'll text you back. I don't know.
Like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff.
All that stuff. I feel like I'm forgetting something. P.O. Box 22609, Lexington, Kentucky.
Earlier.
I'm saying it again. 40522. That's how you can send us mail. That's how you can send us samples. That's how you can send us bottles, anything that you may want to see on the podcast.
Food, snacks,
sure, yeah, anything.
Send it.
I think that's about it, though.
That's an episode, bro.
Yeah,
That's
done it.
That's a good episode.
We have run the gamut for sure. We
Two
appreciate
of my favorite
all.
whiskeys so far this year.
Yeah,
right on one episode.
One for me. We will see you all next time. Until then, though, we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for supporting the show.
You can send me out after that.
Right.
Little comment.
Yeah, all right.
A little comment. You can send me out. I'm not going to say it.
I'm Perry.
Who am I?
That's Eric. And this is My Bourbon Podcast.